What's going on, everyone? My name is Sean Hogan, and we did the final business plan for the hemp industry with Christian Lowe, Jack Kokonis, Macaulay Raoult, Gabriel Updergaff, and Teo Wood.
Our company is Hempire. We are specializing in hemp fibers being sold to various companies who make products such as textiles, clothes, car parts, and etc. Our objective is to produce and distribute hemp fibers to various companies. The manufacturing of hemp has decreased greatly throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, resulting in lower quality products. What makes our company unique is we want to become a lead competitor and produce the best quality hemp fibers for consumers. Our vision is to produce hemp fibers that are good quality, become a large distributor, and become accessible to nationwide to companies. Our competitive advantage is we created a business plan and idea to target our market and how to create the best quality products. We're in the seed stage for the growth stage.
And moving on to the industry overview. Overall, the hemp industry has been growing at a significant rate in the last couple of years and expected to increase throughout the next decade. For the industry size and growth rate, the hemp industry is estimated to be about $3.6 billion as of 2020, and the cigar is between 16.2% between the years of 21 and 2028. Some trends that we have seen when we're researching this is that COVID-19 has slowed manufacturing around the globe. It's also caused a disruption in global trade, which has impacted the supply and demand for hemp products. Lighter regulations on the cultivation, processing, marketing, distributing, and consumption of hemp has greatly spurred the market growth, however. Some barriers that we saw was that the public opinion of hemp is still associated with its counterpart marijuana, which could be seen as a downside in many ways. And there are some specific legal regulations in some states and in some countries which limit the use of hemp. The industry overall is going through a growth stage, as I said before, and many different products segments seem to be expanding. These areas include the food and beverage area, medical products, technical products, eco-friendly materials, seeds, and textiles. And as you can see from the graph itself. Continuing, the industry segments that we found were in the areas of the animal care, textiles, automotive, furniture, food and beverages, paper, construction materials, personal care, and some other small areas. The most important segments and the largest ones would include construction materials segment and the textile hemp industry, as it accounts for a majority and 20% of the revenue share. And as you can see with the diagram there as well. Seeds account for the largest share of uses with a volume of over 40%, but seeds are spread into many different segments, including food, beverages, medical uses, personal care, and others. They are a very large part in the production and growth of the overall hemp industry. And moving on to our opportunity segments, starting with textiles, this area presents a great opportunity for us as it has the largest area, for us to start with measured growth, and it relies primarily on the hemp fibers, which we were focusing on. Construction materials as well, while it's not the largest segment, it has a good market share as well as consistent growth. And with the growing demand in the housing sector, this would be a promising segment for us to pursue. For geographical insights, for the United States, there are no large-scale commercial production of hemp at the moment, and we rely mostly on imports. The Food and Drug Administration also regulates the American market very much, only allowing about 0.3% of THC concentration for cultivation and consumption for the population. And moving on to overseas, the Asian Pacific region dominates the market at the moment, controlling a revenue share of over 30% of the industry. And within that, China is the largest producer and exporter of industrial hemp products, and end user products. The European hemp industry is also a very large player focusing on the automotive and construction material areas. And it is concentrated in the areas of Romania, France, Hungary, and Slovenia, with other areas growing as well. And over the last 5 years, there's been a 300% increase. So here's some major players and some competitors that we were considering. Within the overall hemp market, there's a strong competition which can change upon many factors, including potential yields, processing methods, as well as the technology and cost of production and average returns. Some major players that we found in the research we did were Parkland Industrial Hemp Growers Cooperative, CBD Biotechnology, Botanical Genetics, Marijuana Company of America, Hemp Meds Brazil, TerraTech Corp, American Cannabis Company, Hemp Flax, American Hemp, and Hemp Incorporated. But for us, we were focusing more on American competition and specifically hemp fibers. So for our major competition, we were looking at Charlotte's Web, which has a revenue of 94.6 million in 2020. Gia Herbs, which has a revenue of 57 million in 2020. Elixinol, which has a 2020 revenue of $21.3 million, and CV Sciences, which has a 2020 revenue of 53.7 million. With these four stages in mind, there were no exact percentages for market share, but with the research we have done with these businesses, it seems on average they have a good spread of market share, which means they have a very similar spread. We also have to keep in mind that each competitor sells many different hemp and CBD products in correlation with each other. So within each category of products, the market share can change. And here are some competitor strengths and recent weaknesses. For some strength of our competitors, they've been in business for at least 2 years before us, which means they have our early start and a foot in the door into the market. Their experience also gives them a leg up because they have established business processes as well as industry knowledge that we would like to have, but they have the upper hand on that. Our competitors are mostly located within the South and Midwest of the United States, meaning they can take advantage of the good weather and farmland to create more hemp at a better rate than in New England. And our competitors sell a wide variety of hemp CBD products, which diversifies their selection. Some of the weaknesses of our competitors are they're all located very close to each other within each state, so they do have to geographically compete with each other. And many of our competitors diversify their product selection, which could also be a weakness as it gives them less time and effort to perfect a specific offerings such as hemp fiber, which we are focusing on. And here is our pest analysis for political factors. We have changing regulations within the hemp industry of the United States. Government funding and support for hemp-based research is changing, and the production and distribution of hemp globally differs greatly based on which country it is coming from. For the economic factors, the economic instability from the COVID-19 pandemic could cause problems for future growth of this industry because we're still seeing different effects every day. The inflation as well, which can also go with the COVID-19 pandemic, is rising higher and higher, which could also threaten the hemp industry. For social factors, there's a large social stigma for most forms of hemp based on products within the United States, which we've talked about before, and there's some safety concerns working in the global pandemic. Consumer attitudes and purchasing patterns are also changing as technology and research about hemp increases. For technological factors, we have there's new uses for hemp in the life of an everyday American, new processes for producing hemp as well as creating different products with hemp for the customer, and de-illegalization has spurred more research and research funding into the benefits of hemp for various different industries, such as the textile and the construction industry. And here is our SWOT analysis. For some of the strength of our business, we think that being located in Springfield gives us the advantage of being a large provider of hemp for this area of the United States, because it seemed there was a lack of hemp providers for New England. By focusing on hemp fibers, we were able to focus solely on the product of the business to best produce the material as well as our products. And then moving on to weaknesses. Although New England is a good location for our business, we will need to be wary of the weather and climate to produce the best hemp fibers. Um, our competitors have a more diversified palette when it comes to the amount of hemp and hemp associate products they sell. For some opportunities that we have, although we're not the first business to move into this market, our unique position during the boom of this industry will give us a good foothold that we need to be successful. And then a newfound demand for hemp products in specific sectors, such as the construction and textile industry, could also help us. Some threats we could be facing there are currently large established brands that we'll be competing with on the global and American market. And then regulations for hemp products keep changing and can possibly in the future negatively or even positively affect our product.
All right, so when we're going to look at our target market, when we look at our primary target market for hemp fiber, we're going to look at a couple of different places, such as construction companies, clothing distributors, automotive companies, and then a couple others we could take a chance at would be animal care companies and medical supply companies. Because hemp fiber and what it can be is like so universal and you can do so many things with it, we wouldn't have to focus just on one area. A couple of demographics are obviously some business owners, male or female, wouldn't matter, and adults between the ages of 25 to 59, generally younger, young business owners looking to start off, looking to be a little different, looking to separate themselves from the competition. And it doesn't just have to be in the United States. Yes, we are trying to base ourselves in New England, but eventually this can be spread internationally. Some psychographics. We want people that probably would be more accepting of hemp products. As we mentioned earlier, a lot of people think of the counterpart of hemp with marijuana, and this isn't it. This almost has zero THC in it, but having to be open-minded and take this into account, they would see that this is actually could be beneficial to them. And then some purchasing behaviors. They may have bought or used hemp products before and like them and will purchase them again. And maybe they tend to buy for quality depending on the fabrics and materials they use now. So what does our customer look like? It's pretty basic. So we need a business owner. They wear the work of the day. It doesn't matter. It could be casual, business professional. We're looking at places from all over. So construction could be a vest and a hard hat, or you could get someone that wears a suit and tie every day. So male or female in charge of probably the finances or the operations of the company. And preferably we want to hit the millennials, Gen X a little bit generation, ages 25 to mid 50s. The younger generation will most likely is going to be a little bit more accepting of the idea of using hemp fiber and trying to separate it from the idea of actual marijuana. So a little bit about the segmentation of the market. How much are they going to purchase? Well, that really depends on how they like it. It is different. It is different than what a lot of people have been using for hundreds of years. It is a new way of doing things. So they're probably going to start off purchasing in small amounts. They're going to record how much, if they're smart, they're going to record the results and see if it works out. If they make a financial profit from it, why not continue to do it? They're going to purchase more of it if it's worth it. Will the target prefer our product versus some alternatives? Well, also that depends. The quality of hemp fiber is stronger. It's been experimented with other fabrics such as cotton and things of that nature. Alternatives, they just do not have the same quality. Hemp fiber has been found to be stronger. And also this could be a good marketing pitch against the competition, something that not many people are doing, and some people may like that. And hemp fiber is going to continue to be up and coming, as we saw in the chart a few slides ago. Over the next decade, hemp fiber and the use of it within the business industry is expected to be booming.
All right, so getting into what we're actually selling, we offer processed hemp fibers, and these hemp stalks, as seen in the picture in the bottom right, they're comprised of many different components and can be separated into a wide range of products with an even wider range of use in the hemp. And it's proven to be not only much stronger and cheaper than most textiles that are obtained organically, but they're also way more ecologically sustainable than those synthesized chemically. Some of the earliest uses of hemp have actually been traced down to the BC times, so it's a very useful element, and they've been using it for years. The other picture you see next to it is the various parts of the plant that can be used to make a number of products and different uses for it, such as medicine, from the seeds. And the stalk processes fibers and creates clothes, textiles, pet bedding, rope, you name it. Our initial product mix, we specialize in selling processed hemp fibers within the industrial hemp market strictly, which is, as Gabe said before and I said before, the rope, pet bedding, etc. Processed hemp fibers are extremely useful and are stronger, more absorbent, more durable, and better insulator than cotton. Furthermore, they don't stretch out of shape, just like a shirt. So if you would pull it, it would be stretched out and it probably wouldn't go back. With hemp, it would like maintain its integrity and not stretch. Today, the term hemp is used to determine any species of cannabis sativa plant that contains less than 0.03% THC, which is the element that gets people high. Within the subcategories of hemp, crops generally fall within two categories, which is CBD producing plants, which would be the medicine side, and the industrial hemp plants, which is our business.
Our specific goal is to supply fiber from the hemp plant. We will be getting these from local farmers to a variety of consumers. We're looking to be able to distribute our product as conveniently and effectively as possible to increase consumer satisfaction and create a loyal customer base. We'll measure our direct sales partially through salesmen and majority through internet distribution. We'll measure our indirect sales through engagement with our wholesalers and retailers, and also through our growth over time with these third parties. We'll use consumer feedback in order to make continuous improvements on the growth of our company, and we will use this feedback to make improvements in our consumer satisfaction, along with building a sturdy relationship with our customers. By listening to the wants and needs of our consumers, we will definitely be able to build a healthy relationship that will result in continuous satisfaction and growth and growth of the company. We plan to use the first 2 years to grow our consumer relationships and plan for continuous growth each year following. This is a visual depiction of our desired channel flow. We will directly distribute from ourselves to consumers and also work with middlemen in order to get our products to consumers. It would be useful for our company to use both direct and indirect channels. Direct to be sold directly from us to consumers because this is the product that is used often in bigger industries such as construction and automobile manufacturing. And it would be helpful and convenient to our consumers to be able to get their products in bulk and in a timely manner. We would also be able to build relationships with bigger consumers and collect valuable data on their buying habits. Once the hemp fiber is manufactured, it can be purchased by the consumer for whatever they deem it necessary to be used for, such as automotive and construction. Indirect, it would be purchased from us by wholesalers and retailers in order to sell to consumers for smaller use purposes, such as animal bedding and garden mulch. This will make it easier for consumers to find our product for their smaller projects. And once the hemp fiber is manufactured, it can be purchased by the wholesalers or retailers to be purchased by consumers for smaller projects. Our channel partners in this would be wholesalers and retailers, and of course the farmers that we'll be receiving the hemp from. We believe these partners are the best fit for the hemp fiber we are producing because we are able to offer convenience all around to the many different kinds of consumers of our product. Many larger consumers will communicate directly with us for their needs, and then we'll rely on third party, for example, stores like Michael's Craft Store and for things like yarn or rope, and Petco for things like animal bedding. Here you can see a visual representation of our timeline of our prediction. We will first need the hemp to be planted and grown by local farmers, which will take about 90 to 120 days to complete. The fiber is what grows on the outside of the plant's stalk, giving it strength. So once the plant is fully grown, it'll be ready to start the extracting process. Next, we'll need to separate the fiber by chemical retting. This is one of the more effective methods of getting the bast out of the hemp plant. It usually takes about 48 hours to complete. And after this is complete, we'll begin packaging and storing our products, which we anticipate will take about a week to complete. We anticipate that we will need about 4.5 months to fully complete these processes. And during the 4.5 months of preparing our product, we will begin forming consumer relations, getting in contact with many larger businesses who may be looking to buy our product in bulk, and also talking to many wholesalers and retailers who may be interested in putting our product on their shelves. Our target market will be larger businesses using hemp fiber for their productions that will be buying our product in bulk, as this is where the majority of our sales will be coming from. We'll be serving this target market by being in constant communication with the consumers to ensure that their needs are satisfied and that they receive high quality while building relationships that will create long-term partnerships. We'll serve our other consumers through communication with wholesalers and retailers to collect important data to understand their wants and needs of these consumers to ensure their satisfaction as well. When deciding on a price for our product, we looked into the average pricing. Hemp fiber is typically sold by weight. On average, it'll sell for $260 a ton in the case of larger sales, or 13 cents a pound for smaller sales. We believe our company, though new, will be ensuring high quality products and exemplary customer service to those who partner with us. By pricing our products similarly to our competitors while also giving more benefits to them by shopping with us, we'll be giving them what they call a better bang for your buck. To get our exact price, we will be adding on a percent of the manufacturing cost to the selling price. Our goal, I'm sorry, I did not mean to say that. So a better bang for their buck. Our goal is to maintain strong relations with all of our channels, and we believe the relations we build with our partners will make this rate achievable. We also plan to continuously keep in contact with consumers to measure their satisfaction, and will constantly be looking for feedback on what we can do to better increase business and increase the overall satisfaction of our customer experience with our company. We plan on using both competitive pricing strategy for the majority of sales and also customer competitive pricing. As well. I'm still on the last slide, I'm sorry. So we plan on using both a competitive pricing strategy for the majority of sales and also customer pricing strategy as well. We've decided on competitive pricing to be one of our strategies to be able to maintain strong customer relations by building trust through transparency about our products and quality. We are willing to work with some customers on prices due to our heavy reliance on bulk orders. So we're also planning on using customer pricing strategy because we value our customers' feelings and opinions on our product and want to ensure their satisfaction. For both our direct and indirect channels, we will be using a competitive pricing strategy. We value relationships with consumers and want to build trust in order to form long-term relationships with them, which we plan on creating through a quality product without excessive charges. Once we begin building relations with our direct channels, we will begin looking deeper into our target market. When we talk with our direct channels, we will be looking for feedback on things such as quality, pricing of our product, and their satisfaction with the products, as well as their interactions with us. In some direct channels, we will be open to value-based pricing and working with loyal and consistent customers with their bulk orders in order to find a price that's both realistic for them and gives our company a reasonable profit. The image on the slide talking about store A and B, this image is how we plan on pricing our product. Within the first 3 years of beginning the company, we plan to keep our products priced in the same range as our competitors. Our company will work with consumers to build strong relations and gain their trust through the constant contact, ensuring their happiness with us and the quality of our product. Once we build these relations, and we plan to communicate more with our larger consumers, as I said before, and come to a consensus and agree on better pricing for bulk orders of our product. We believe that based on the value our company brings to consumers through strong relations, communication, and good quality, this method will work for us. So this is our 5-box exercise. Our current belief is that these products have the same cost, but one has more value. I gain better relationships with my provider and have a sales team who not only works for me, but with me while providing a good quality product. Our customer proposition is if we don't use better quality hemp for our product, it will only have a negative impact on the overall quality of our product as well. Our desired belief is I compare suppliers based on the value they will add to my company and its products. Our current do is I will use whichever supplier, seeing the prices are the same. Our desired dues are I will use the supplier that is willing to offer more value to my company for the same price as competitors. Our reason to believe this and our evidence is that our salesmen are working with clients to ensure satisfaction and build relations. There's constant communication to receive feedback on product. And the process that we use gives high quality outcome. Chemical reading is one of the highest quality outcomes of the reading processes. Our positioning statement is for companies using hemp fiber in their product, they need a good quality fiber to improve the product outcome. Hempire offers quality along with amazing customer experience to ensure you will be getting exactly what your company needs as easily as possible, and your product will have a good outcome. Unlike competitors, Hempire is determined to give your company a better experience overall for the price you pay. Our brand is committed to keeping our consumers satisfied with both our product and their customer experience. Our position versus competitors is our company is willing to offer what our competitors lack. We're not only offering a good quality product to them, but our sales team is working closely with each of our customers in order to listen to any concerns or suggestions on how to improve their experience with us. And we are focused to ensure that our consumers are pleased with their experience doing business with us and that they wouldn't want to consider any other company to do the job for them. Our primary target market is going to be companies that have a larger use for our products, such as construction companies, clothing distributors, and automotive companies. We will reach out to this market through personal selling. We have a sales team devoted to finding potential consumers who are looking for our product. They will then use their knowledge of our company and product to show these potential consumers the advantage of working with us. We'll also have social media pages that will promote our product by sharing information on our company. Our secondary target market will be more of our wholesalers or retail partners, the companies that offer a variety of products with no real need for our product themselves. We'll use our sales team for our secondary target markets as well. They'll just be reaching out and discussing our product to see if maybe it'll be a good fit for their store. And our objective is by the end of our first year in business, we will have 3 businesses from our primary market doing consistent business with us and 2 from our secondary. Our goal is specific in gaining a specific number of loyal and valued clients doing business with us consistently. And we believe this is an attainable goal through the hard work of our knowledgeable sales team and all the value adding attributes that we're offering in comparison to competitors. After our first year, we'll be able to use data collected by our sales team to see how we did in regards to this goal.
Moving on to the promotional mix. We believe the most effective promotional mix for this specific industry and our product in general is the personal selling, prospecting, advertising, and possibly sales promotion. But we're going to harp on personal selling for a little bit because I believe that this is the best way to reach the clients that you want. Because when you have a sit down, such as the personal selling, you can have a one-on-one conversation with the client that you're interested in, or multiple through Zoom, in person, whatever. And that you can also invite them to your warehouse or wherever you're located and show them the day-to-day operations, which would get them either excited or not want to buy your product due to your day-to-day operations and the culture of the company. So this is our AIDA model. The AIDA model identifies cognitive stages an individual goes through during the buying processes for a product or a service. The first one is awareness. The use of personal selling and advertising with the local news. We are trying to get our brand name out there to the industry and the general public. This will be helpful due to cognitive dissonance towards our current supplier, especially if we have a competitive advantage, which I believe we would. Interest, obviously the awareness would spark the interest. So during these sit downs, these clients will hear reasons why we think they should be purchasing hemp fibers through us instead of other current suppliers that they're contracted with. Post meeting, these clients may call you or reach out to ask about any further questions and go in detail about those questions. Decision, once hearing all the information for each potential company, they must decide who they will conduct business with. In a perfect world, we would be their top choice, obviously, due to the competitive advantages we believe to impose on other companies. And lastly would be action. This is obviously the action of creating a purchase order with said company and the consumer will be extremely happy with the quality and customer interaction of Hempire if they do choose us, which I believe they will.
So when talking about production and operations, we wanted to focus on location. With hemp being a touchy subject and facing criticism from less progressive states, it is very important for the hemp processing plant to be located in a location with more, with Tommy, sorry guys, located in a location with a more progressive mindset to avoid such scrutiny, such as Massachusetts, Colorado, Oregon, or California. We decided Massachusetts due to the leniency of the fees involved with processing hemp. It is only a mere $400 for licensing and application fees. This is a yearly transaction as you need to renew it year by year. So when looking at potential partners, the hemp processing plant wants a partner who will mutually benefit from our products, such as a textile company, furniture company, or other companies that deal with hemp production in their products. This will kind of make a stronger and more loyal bond between us and our partner. So when choosing to produce, outsource, or do both, we chose the best opportunity for us would be to produce our own. We would control all the materials. This way we'll have full control of raw materials, production, and shipping of the product, with many supply chain causing major problems for businesses in today's market because of COVID. Control is key. So when looking at production schedule, we're looking at 5 different components. The first component would be planning. Preparing a plan through charts, production budgets, or various other visual representations can provide a sound basis for steps down the road pertaining to production. There are 2 types of planning that can be used: static planning and dynamic planning. Static planning assumes that all the steps will be completed on time with no changes, while dynamic planning assumes that some process steps will change due to unexpected events. The next component would be routing, the process that is used to determine the route or path that the product must flow. This route entails the path from raw materials until it is transformed into a finished product. The main objective of this component is to locate and perform the most economical and enhanced sequence of operations in the production process. The next component would be scheduling. Scheduling is an essential and crucial part of the production scheduling and lays a foundation for all the steps within the production process. There are 3 types of scheduling that an operation utilizes, such as master scheduling, manufacturing or operation scheduling, and retail operation scheduling. The next component would be dispatching. Dispatching relates to the process of assigning the order of job from the preconceived production plan. Dispatching is concerned with giving a practical shape to an overall production plan. And the last component would be execution. Proper execution of the created schedule. Staff members must work together to ensure that items are produced in the right order and up to standards and delivered on time.
So moving on, these are our organizational rules. As a startup, we have a small number of rules available, which would be CEO, general manager, the engineering team, business development team, human resources department, and sales staff, which you can see laid out on the flowchart below. And here we have years 1, 2, and 3 that the HR department will be responsible for. So for year 1, we will be focused on the successful implementation of our business, which means that the HR department will be responsible with communicating to our partners. Year 2, after we have a fully functioning business and we have worked out all the kinks, HR will be responsible for communication with our different networks, as well as coordinating with our various customers. And when it comes to year 3, we'll be continuing with what they were doing in year 2, but also be responsible for the majority of customer and channel relations. And for our sources of funding, we're looking towards venture capital firms as well as angel investors. We hope that we can bring onto our team with the hope to raise enough money for our operation and continued operation. We would potentially need investments from the owners of our organization as well to get it started and up and running.
All right, so for the financials of this startup, we kind of took a guesstimate because based on the equipment, it would be around $50,000 for the redding machine. Plant supplies just being like gas or whatever you might need. Building rent, so I found that it is around $12.95 per square foot in Massachusetts for a warehouse. So we'd probably need around anywhere from 2,000 to 5,000 square feet, depending on how big the business grows and how fast. This is our projected 3-year cash flow. Startup companies usually aren't going to be super profitable because they're a startup company. So building those relationships might take time. And as you can see, we projecting to go up and up as the years go on.
So for metrics, in the hemp processing field, we will rely on heavily on statistical process control. Statistical process control is an approach to quality control that uses statistical methods. This is applied in order to monitor and control a process. By monitoring and controlling the process ensures that it's operational at its full potential. And at its full potential, process quality can be maximized. SPC can be applied to any process where the conforming product or the product meeting specifications output can be measured. And here we have our business model canvas. This is basically just a summarization of a lot of the topics we touched on today, so I'll just go through it quickly. Some of our key partners will be textile companies and furniture companies. Key activities will be the successful implementation of production and distribution of hemp fibers. Our key resources will be our production facility, tooling costs, and our distribution network. For our value proposition, our company facilitates the production of quality hemp products to be used in many different products such as textiles and construction materials. Customer relations, we hope to have consistent, healthy relationship with our customers and partners. And some of our channels would be local farmers, wholesalers, and retailers, as we've talked about before. Some segments that we also talked about previously are construction companies, automotive businesses, clothing companies for our primary, and for our secondary, medical tooling facilities and animal care companies. The cost structure for us, we're looking at some large costs for our startup and capital expenses, as you saw in the slide where Sean talked about the financial statements, and tooling costs as well. And our revenue stream for this is the successful implementation of selling our hemp fiber to different organizations for them to use.
All right, and that's our hemp processing fiber. Thank you so much for listening and have a great rest of your day.